I mean, for me, it was everything, right? Because I trained every single day, every weekend, every night, you know, and representing two amazing producers that...
An amazing human. How do you feel? First of all, how do you feel being in New York?
As the horns go off, it feels surreal. It's like, it's one of those cities that just, it's so intense, and you need to have passion, you need to have purpose. And if you have that, and it's with coffee, dive straight in there, because it's an amazing industry. My first competition, I came last, and that's where I learned the most. Obviously, you know, I wanted to win, and it was an amazing thing, but I can still remember the feeling when I walked on stage and they were all there, and I could hear them cheering, and like I was trying not to cry just before I even started calling time, because that's what it's all about, right? It's about relationships, and it was just all summarized in that moment, and it's something that's going to stick with me forever.
¿Qué es el éxito?
Dinero.
Empoderamiento.
Aprendizaje. Viajes.
Crecimiento. Emprendimiento.
Salud.
Familia.
Hablemos de éxito. Todos los viernes en YouTube. En conversación con Jack Simpson, World Barista Champion 2026, experto en café de especialidad, embajador de marcas, pero sobre todo un humano bien chingón. So we're exploring the streets of New York City. We're with an amazing human. How do you feel? First of all, how do you feel being in New York?
As the horns go off, it feels surreal. It's like, it's one of those cities that just, it's so intense, and every corner is so interesting. So it's, I don't know, I feel like I'm in a new place again.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah.
What a difference from Melbourne, right?
For sure. I mean, I love Melbourne, but New York is something else. It's something different.
Well, you travel quite a bit as well.
I do, but you know, New York is unique. It's a different place. It's full of vibrant people and culture, and it's one of those places you can just get lost in.
So what's like your favorite city in the entire world of all the places you've been to? I know it's a horrible question, but I must. You better say New York.
Yeah, that aside. No, I love Montreal.
Okay.
And it's got a close space in my heart, I think, because obviously I spent some time there. I used to live there as well. And it's got this vibrant culture, and obviously it's got a French twist to it as well. And it's a lovely place to live and explore.
And your girlfriend's name is Gabby, right?
It is, yes.
Gabby, that's your version. Now we're going to ask a real question. What's your favorite city? Just kidding. So cool. Okay, great. So let's talk about success.
Yes.
We invite people that are add value, that create doers, and you're one of them. So what does success mean to you?
It can mean a lot of different things, I think. Obviously, I measured success on winning quite early on. And I had that mindset, which is tough, because if you don't achieve that final goal of winning, you've lost, and you haven't achieved that success.
Very cool.
I think recently it's sort of evolved to realize that it's more about the process and the journey, and especially achieving that goal. Looking back, I should have appreciated that journey more, because I think that's where all the success is made, rather than that one moment when you get the trophy.
Very, very cool. You know, I have so many questions for you, because I don't want to talk. We're going to talk definitely on your success when it comes to coffee. But you're not just coffee. You're like a very beautiful soul. You're a very beautiful human. You have a beautiful aura and energy, and you're so patient, and you're so humble. And I think that's also success. Do you agree?
For sure. I mean, I look at it as like I'm just being myself, right? And I mean, for you to say those words, that's very kind, and I'll take your words as success.
Your parents did a good job.
Oh, thank you. If you're watching, thank you, Mum and Dad. Appreciate it.
What are they like? What are your parents like?
Oh, they're beautiful humans. They work really hard, and I think I get my work ethic from them. I think Mum had 3 jobs when I was growing up. Dad was working like 12-hour days in the winter. He worked on the ski fields in Australia. So quite a unique job, especially back home. And I think I learnt my drive, and you know, they achieved a lot in their life as well. And you know, we've got a beautiful family, and I've learnt so much from them, and not just them, my brother and sister as well, because you know, they're probably my biggest inspiration in this whole journey. Yeah.
What does family mean to you?
It's everything. I think without family, I don't know where I would be in life, and I'm very lucky. I almost lost my mum through a heart attack like when I was 16, and almost lost my brother as well. He had a stroke, almost died, and had to have a emergency procedure where they inserted basically something to remove the clot from his brain through his groin all the way up, and it was one of the first procedures in Australia. And they had to try it on my brother because there was no other option, and just almost losing them both, I think, is appreciate your family so much more. As I always did, right? But thinking that they could be taken away in a moment. I'm always thinking about that and taking every opportunity I can with them, no matter what it is. Going out for dinner, going over on the weekend, I'll never take it for granted.
Oof, thank you for sharing. Australia. Let's talk about Australia. What does Australia mean to you?
Yeah, I think also spending some time overseas, it's, again, you appreciate it. When something's taken away from you, you appreciate it so much more. I think it's the best country in the world. I'm so lucky to be born there. It's got everything, right? It's got beaches, it's got snow, it's got beautiful environment, beautiful people, it's accepting, it's multicultural. It's everything. It's just, I think it's everything I enjoy about the world all wrapped into one country.
Oof. If you could define Australia for those that have never been, 3 words, how would you define Australia?
Beautiful. So people and environment. I'm regurgitating some of the words I said before, but multicultural. I think the world isn't always accepting, but I think majority of Australians are accepting with different cultures, and it's amazing to see that. I think that's what makes Australia so unique and interesting as well. One other word I think would be, it's, I guess, diverse in landscape. You can be down south and you could be in the snow, or you could be up north and in deserts or rainforests. It's got literally anything you can think of, any landscape. It's got so much history and just an amazing place to visit.
Right. Coffee plays a big role for Australia.
What was that, sorry?
Coffee plays a big role in Australia.
Yes.
Great coffee shops, specialty coffee shops. It's so disciplined, it's so clean, it's such a clean cup of coffee. What is Australia contributing to coffee?
Yeah, I think it's always evolving, right? I don't think coffee is like a stagnant thing, and it's such a young industry as well. I think Australia has contributed a lot in the early movements of specialty coffee, as well as the US, obviously. But we've had a big influence from several coffee roasters there that have pushed the limits and really pushed specialty coffee into the community and made it a norm. Right? We don't walk down the street and see commodity grade coffee. Like that's something that's foreign now.
Okay.
So I think it's made the general public made it more accessible for general public.
Got it. Okay, so we're in New York City. Talk about New York City. New York City, how does New York influence you and your beliefs and coffee, and what have you seen in New York City? It's not your first time, but...
No. My first time was through COVID, so I was disappointed I didn't get to experience the cafe culture. And I guess my time here, it has been brief, but also very exciting and jam-packed. Visiting, obviously, a few of the 787 stores. And it's impressive. Like, I know it was through COVID, but seeing a lot more coffee shops. I even did a bit of a Google search when I was walking this morning and seeing where the specialty coffee were. And there was a lot of stores.
Right.
Like, it's much more common than it was even 5 years ago.
Agreed. Agreed. Is that a good thing?
For sure, 100%. I think making specialty coffee more accessible to the general public, they might not know what it is, but I think if we can give it to more people and they appreciate it, it's better conditions for farmers. They're getting paid more. They're getting recognised for the work they're doing. And I think they're all amazing things.
What happens after specialty coffee? What's next?
I think we keep evolving. Like I said before, it's a young industry. It's we're seeing a lot of different processing methods and origins that we're typically playing around in, sort of like Robusta or lower grade commodity style, pushing into Arabica and we're trying some amazing coffees out of like China, Indonesia, and
India.
India exactly. A lot of different origins. So I think we're just going to see so much of evolution in these origin producing countries, because these producers are so motivated and they're excited and they're passionate. So we're going to reap the rewards of all their hard work, and it's exciting to see.
What does coffee mean to you?
Everything. It's my job, it's my passion, and it's my hobby. It's basically, it takes me around the world. It fills up my days when I'm not sure what to do. I go to a cafe or I train for a barista competition. It's a community. Not just in Australia but worldwide. I think it would be hard to compare another industry like coffee because I think everyone's so kind and thoughtful, and no matter where you are around the world, there's always someone that wants to connect and chat about coffee.
Wow. Well, he's hungry. You're hungry.
Yeah, I am.
So let's go have some halal in New York City, the authentic, the original. And then as we're eating, we'll talk more coffee and more of your big success. What happened this year?
Is
that cool?
Yeah, let's eat some food.
Let's do it. What did you say in your presentation today? If you could share to our audience,
yeah,
what was
sure.
your presentation about?
Yeah, so I spoke about obviously my journey becoming the World Barista Champion, and it was not so much about becoming the World Barista Champion, but I guess my mindset, because it really changed, it really shifted. Early on, it was about sort of learning more about specialty coffee and finding an outlet to explore, because you're behind the bar every day and you have to serve a consistent product to a customer. If you're not doing that, you're not doing your job, right?
Right.
So that was my outlet. And then from there, my mindset changed and it shifted to winning and wanting to do the best I can and believing that I was good enough to be the World Barista Champion. Because it's a hard thing to grasp, I think, and took a number of years for me to fully accept that I'm good enough to win. And I am glad that I didn't win the first time I went into the WBC or the second, and really had that progression, and it humbled me and made me realize that I'm not always going to be perfect, and no one will be, right? And you can not be perfect and still win. So, yeah, that's what it's about.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Let's talk about your win.
Yes.
I think it's huge, and it's a tipping point for you. I think. Do you agree? It's a tipping point in your life, in your career.
For sure, it's a real shift, right?
Uh-huh.
Like I was saying before, it was a goal I was striving for 9 years, and then I've achieved it, right? So it's like that thought process has left my brain after 9 years. And
what does that mean? Winning, like winning a World Barista Champion for those people that are seeing.
Yeah.
What is it?
For me, it was everything, right? Because I trained every single day, every weekend, every night, and representing two amazing producers that I've got a very soft spot for, and I feel like they're the ultimate part of the coffee chain and industry, right? And for me to tell my story on stage with this connection with these producers, it meant everything. And to win telling a story like this, I think meant even more. I'm not sure if I said it today, but when I was in Milan, I had my whole family there, my parents, brother, sister, their partners. I had Jonathan's family, his parents, his son, his sister, his brother, like they were all there. And that meant so much more to me than winning. Obviously, I wanted to win and it was an amazing thing, but I can still remember the feeling when I walked on stage and they were all there. And I could hear them cheering and like I was trying not to cry just before I even started calling time, because that's what it's all about, right? It's about relationships, and it was just all summarized in that moment, and it's something that's going to stick with me forever.
Wow. I loved how you said it gave you purpose. Like,
Yes.
it wasn't about winning, it's about representing a human that believed in you and you believed in, and all his friends, his family. You said you used the word love.
Yes. Oh,
That's
of course.
powerful.
Yeah, I love them, and it's funny. So they don't speak a word of English, and I stayed at their house last time, and we have our phones out. We use Google Translate. We speak into the phone, and it's funny because I feel like I've had such deep conversations with these guys. I know so much about them, and I understand their personalities, and we always think language is a boundary, but it hasn't been, right? And it's we communicate, and I could spend the whole week with him, and it would be laughs, and, good times, and sharing, all our thoughts and ideas, and it doesn't stop us. So it's really special.
Something that I've learned from you. Thank you for sharing. Something that I've learned from you that I think makes you very, very special is how open you are to cultures and to accents and to people. And I think that's one of the reasons you are the World Barista Champion. I don't know if everyone could be a World Barista Champion, even if they know coffee, even if they have the best latte or the best consistency in coffee, because you travel, you deal with cultures, coffee's cultures. Australia is not a producing country. Do you agree? What's your feeling on this?
Yeah, well, Australia produces a tiny amount of coffee, so but not that it's not huge, right? It's a very tiny amount. But for sure, and I think I said before, I'm glad I didn't win the first few times, because I don't think I would have been a good ambassador for specialty coffee. And I think you're right. I think you need someone in this role that is connected and has purpose, has a why of why they're on stage and why they did on stage, right? Yeah, it's hard. Like, we've had some amazing ambassadors in the past, and I've idolized nearly all of the World Barista Champions, and they've all got something to add. And I think that's what it's about. It's not so much about the individual being up on stage. It's what can that person give the industry. Like you said about public speaking before, it's not about the individual on stage giving the speech. It's what other people can take out of it. Hopefully I can do that in this 12 months. I hope I can. It's my mission, it's my goal, and yeah, I want to get to meet as many baristas as I can, many producers as I can, and really enjoy the year and use my spotlight and shine it on a few other people. And if I can do that, I'll be really happy.
Oh my God, I have so many questions. I don't want to, because it's very cold for one in New York City, because we're hungry. But I want to ask you 8 questions, maybe 7. Think of this human. And this human we're gonna name Gabby. Gabby, it's a human that wants to be a barista, maybe a world barista, maybe compete one day. But her parents are telling her it's not a real job. Wants to be a barista because she loves coffee. Parents say, get a real job.
Yeah.
What do you tell Gabby?
Well, Gabby, I would tell you to, if your heart is in it and you've got a drive and motivation to make this work, I think it's just jump right in there, because there's a lot of professions you can do in the world, and I think you need to have passion, you need to have purpose, and if you have that and it's with coffee, dive straight in there, because it's an amazing industry. It can be hard to get started and find the right position and earn a good living within the industry, but it's possible if you work hard enough, right? You can't go to university for coffee. If you could, I would have signed up years ago, right? But you can't, and it requires a lot of motivation and discipline to not just show up for your shift every week, but learn more about coffee as you finish, on the weekends, on your days off. And if you're happy to do that and you really want to push and learn as much as you can, jump in there.
Go for it. So Gabby loves your advice, but she doesn't know where to start. Yeah. So is she going to a coffee shop? Is she applying on a website? How does she start?
Yeah. I mean, it's an interesting one, right? Because I just quit my job and I had no plan other than I wanted to be a barista. In Melbourne, it was quite tough because you can't just get a job as a barista without any skill or any experience. So you have to work on the floor and work your way up. I mean, there's lots of different avenues, but for me, I think it's just connecting with your local coffee shop, or the ones that you really enjoy, the ones that you like, you resonate with. Getting in there, get to know the baristas, get to know the manager, the owner if they're in the store, and tell them your plan, tell them your dreams. And most coffee shop owners would definitely resonate and appreciate it, and they want people like that working for them.
Got it. So Gabby has been doing research online, and she saw that Panama is selling their geisha very, very expensive, and that Puerto Rico is part of the US, so it's expensive, and Hawaii as well, and that Australia produces a little bit. So she's wondering what makes a good coffee good coffee.
It's subjective, right? It's not just one thing. We often idolize Panama geishas, and they are beautiful coffees, don't get me wrong, but every origin has their characteristics that are unique, and I think if we celebrate them for what they are, every coffee's good. It's just, I think we need to have appreciation for all different styles. It's subjective, but every origin has its own story, and I think if you lean into it, you'll appreciate every coffee you drink.
So Gabby got a job. She's happy. She's a barista. She's learning. What's next for her? How does she make a career out of this?
Yeah, it's about not giving up. Keep pushing. You've got that job, but it's like, what next? Learn as much as you can for the time you are as a barista, and think about the next steps. For me, it was about sort of working at a roastery, getting closer to the source and learning more about origin. And I thought that was, connecting with a roastery. It could be just working with a knowledgeable barista that works at a different store, or maybe they're in the store that you're in now. But just thinking about that plan, and there's lots of different avenues you can take within the industry. For me, I pushed into roasting, I pushed into cafe management, I pushed into sales. I tried them all, and I wanted to try them all because I wanted to have a full scope and a full knowledge of the whole industry. So just find out where your niche is within the industry once you get in there and start learning more, and really push for it and connect with those people.
So Gabby decided to go to Milan to see the championship. and she saw that only one female made it the top 15. Everyone else is a male. So she's a little bit discouraged because she's like, I'm a female.
Yes.
What's going on?
Yeah, it's funny because when I was learning and I was really interested and I was at the steps that Gabby is now, I went to Amsterdam in 2018. And that's when Agnieszka won, the first female to win the World Barista Championship. I don't think it makes a difference whether you're male or female getting on stage. I would love to see more females competing. And I get inspired because, you know, often there's a lot of male baristas up on stage. So whenever there's female baristas, I think it's so awesome. I'm not sure why there isn't more, but I would love to see more. Maybe this conversation could help motivate the next female World Barista Champion.
There you go. So Gabby's ready. She's liking it. She's encouraged to learn. What's next? How does she get ready for a championship?
Just enter. Yeah, don't think too much. I overthought about it. I think with anything in life, right? It's you just got to give it a go. You can overthink it and wait till you think you're perfect or think you're ready, but there's no way better to learn than just jumping straight in. For me, I volunteered and I was helping people along the way. But at that stage, like that helped me get into it. But I could have jumped straight in. I think I was just scared at the time and I wanted that little bit of reassurance. But my first competition, I came last, and that's where I learned the most. Because I realized I didn't train hard enough. I didn't know enough. And from there, I kept growing and growing. And, it's not always about winning, but it's about learning. It's about the experience and getting to know this amazing industry.
Very cool. So last question for Gabby is, she's not making enough money. She's a barista and she thinks she's very small because she's not the owner and she's not the main barista and she's not the roaster. She's a small barista. Someone told me today, I'm a small barista. And parents are saying, change careers. What would you tell someone that's going through this?
It's tough. I didn't make the transition for money, obviously, and I don't think many people are in the coffee industry for money. It's about the love, it's about the craft, it's about enjoying what we do. And I understand money is important, and if you're not earning much, it affects your life, right? And so you want to be earning a sustainable living and earnings. It's hard because I've been there. And I was struggling at the time, but I think if you keep pushing, there's always a way. There's always if someone will see your hard work and dedication to the craft, and you'll get rewarded for it. It's so easy for a barista to leave and look for another job, right? But it's the baristas that hang around, keep learning. Some other baristas will find a different job, and Gabby will have 5 years experience, and that's a lot for a barista, right? So it's going to get to a point where she's the most experienced barista in New York, maybe, perhaps, or even within her local community. So I think you keep pushing. You never give up, and you'll eventually get to where you want to get to.
Thank you, Gabby. Really appreciate it.
Good luck, Gabby.
Okay, so my next question and final question is, what's next for you?
Yeah,
that's really, really important. I think you have an amazing year ahead of you. What's the next chapter? And we can talk about it as we go over there.
Yeah, for sure. Cool? Yeah, 100%.
Okay, let's do it.
So, yeah, it's a tough one to answer, and I'm still searching for it. I know a few things that I want to do. I want to connect with baristas all around the world. I want to travel. I want to experience specialty coffee culture in different countries. It's so different from Melbourne to New York to London to Montreal, right? So just exploring more of that. If I can give what I've learnt over my 9 years to new baristas, to people that have been competing for many years, or maybe it doesn't have to be a new barista, but it's just someone that's going to take value from what I can add, I think that's going to mean a lot to me. And like I was saying before, I want to use my platform to shine a light on other people. I want to do that in the next 12 months. There's so many things to do, and I think the world's my oyster at the moment. I'm excited for the next 12 months. I'm inspired, and I can't wait to get started. And this is my first international trip since I won. And thank you so much for inviting me over here and getting kick started. And it's going to be super exciting.
I know you're going to do great. You have the most amazing traits, value, quality of humbleness and treating people with love and respect. You've brought so much value to 787 Coffee. My coworkers are in love with you. Everyone wanted a photo with you. I asked everyone, have you taken? Because I know they wanted it. They just didn't want to bother you. and you said yes to each one of them, and that was beautiful. And then you're touching lives, and now you're going to Puerto Rico, and you're going to impact our humans, our most important humans. All of them are important, but that's where coffee is born. Our farmers, our producers. And thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for believing. Thank you for representing. Thank you for being. Thank you for smiling and for putting up with us for 14, 15 hours.
No, the pleasure's all mine, and I took a lot out of this week, or 2 days that I've been here. It's been inspiring, listening to you, and I've been connecting with you for a number of years, and it was finally good to spend some time together and see the culture and company you've created. And honestly, I'm not just saying this because you're in front of me, but everyone that spoke today was impactful for me in different ways, and everyone's got their own story, and it was cool to have all these people in the room at the same time. So no, the pleasure is all mine coming out here to 787 Coffee, and I'd love to come back. I'm looking forward to the next visit.
Likewise. Mexico City next when we open.
Let's go. Thank you. Thank you.
Si esto te dio valor, suscríbete.